Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Selena, and today I'm going to be sharing with you an easy recipe for making cultured cream. What do I mean by cultured cream? In the GAPS world, this can be also called sour cream, but it's basically when you're culturing heavy cream. So I use cream from a farm, raw, organic, grass-fed. I talk about in another video why I think those things are very important when you're sourcing your dairy. But I'm gonna take that cream and I'm just gonna add a couple tablespoons of either kefir or yogurt to it. And it's gonna ferment for 24 hours on the counter, and it's going to produce this really thick, really tasty substance that's going to be very good for you. And I'm going to explain why. So let's jump in. The amazing thing about this cream is that it does a couple things. It's going to help you to stabilize your blood sugar, which I'll talk about a little bit later, but is also very full of probiotics. So depending on what you use to start this cultured cream, whether it's yogurt or kefir, it can vary in strength. And so if you're going to use kefir, it's going to be very strong and very full of probiotics because kefir is, like they call, the king of the ferments, and it has dozens of strands of beneficial microbes. I think it's like more than 61 different strands, which most commercial probiotics only have like 20 sometimes. But if your tolerance isn't there yet, you can always start with yogurt. Yogurt cultured cream is actually a really good way to start introducing probiotics if you're not used to it. If you're trying to build your tolerance for more probiotics and strengthen that gut lining, you're going to want to start small because it can be very detoxing. And if you go too fast, you can kind of get a sort of detox reaction, which I talked about in other videos, but it can be kind of intense. I also have another video on how to make kefir. So if you want to make the very thing that I am going to be using to start this cultured cream, I will refer you to my other video. I go through the benefits of kefir, how to make it, all the things you're going to need to make kefir. And that is one of the ingredients here that I'm using to make this cultured cream. A couple of notes here, and I will timestamp this video to help you guys move along if you just want to get to the recipe. But this is very strong. So this is honestly, in a lot of ways, stronger than regular kefir because it's the fat that makes it so nourishing and so absorbable. If you haven't yet built up your tolerance to this level of fat in your diet, this high quality fat, you're going to want to do that, as well as the probiotic content. This can be extremely detoxing. So this is a fair warning. Please do not go just like scooping big amounts on this if you've never had it before. I have friends who have done this and they've gotten a really strong reaction. You really want to start with just a teeny tiny bit, see how you do. Dr. Natasha recommends this sensitivity test to see if your body will react in any sort of allergic way. Put a little tiny bit of the cultured cream on your wrist and cover with a band-aid overnight. And if the skin is red and puffy, you know that you should really go slowly. Either way, I would recommend going slowly. Start with just a little taste of it and then build as you can tolerate. I actually did this way overloaded one time and I got myself so fatigued for days because in the beginning of this I thought, oh, since I've had kefir before, this will be just the same. And so I had globs of it and oh my goodness, no, it's not the same as kefir. It's actually very strong, and for me, I experienced it being stronger than kefir. So really go slow, go with your body, listen to your body. But again, don't shy away just because of all the myths of dairy and why it's so bad for you. It's actually very good for you. Another note that I gave in my yogurt tutorial is that quality really does matter here. You want to source the best that you can. I try to find raw, organic, grass-fed, and if they can separate the cream for you, that's gonna be the best because it'll be easier for you. But finding that raw, non-homogenized milk so that you can get that cream off the top is going to be the best. If you can't source any kind of raw dairy from a store, the next best option is going to be Kelowna Supernatural or anything you can find that's better. This is vat pasteurized, and generally I still don't recommend this. As much as you can find it completely raw is the best, but this is the next best option, and I have used this at times and it definitely does work. So they are pasteurizing it on low temp and it doesn't kill as much of the microbes. I will link that brand below if you're going to look for that. It's usually at Whole Foods, but you can also find it on Amazon. Okay, and just a note about blood sugar. Part of the reason why I made this video is because I've gotten a lot of requests to share with people who have been having particularly strong sugar cravings, some ways that you can nutritionally support your body so that you are not craving sugar as much. Sugar cravings are are most often rooted in blood sugar instability. And in order to kind of round out your diet, make your taste buds change, have your body craving healthy food, you're going to want to balance that blood sugar out. A lot of what people don't realize is that anytime you have any form of sugar, whether it's processed sugar from crappy kind of desserts or even freshest organic fruit, is it all has an influence on your blood sugar. If you can pair a fruit, something sweet, with some kind of high quality fat, it's going to help keep your blood sugar stabilized, which is going to help you with energy, keeping your energy stable throughout the day, no dips and crazy bits of exhaustion. And it's also going to help to keep your body craving healthy, good food and not craving sugar all the time, which can make this whole healing process a lot harder. Fatigue for me is some of the biggest things I notice when my blood sugar kind of goes a little bit crazy. And if I pair some kind of fat with a fruit, it really does help to keep me even keeled throughout the day. Okay, so like I said, you're going to need 2 tablespoons of kefir, and if you're not ready for kefir yet, start with yogurt and maybe just a little less than a quart of cream. I say a little bit less so that you can actually shake it and so that you don't overflow the bottle, but I just have a little less than a quart of cream with a couple tablespoons. This is not really an exact science here, it's just kind of what I found that works. But you're going to combine the two, then you're going to shake it up really hard just to get it well combined, and then you're going to leave it on the counter for 24 hours. And you'll leave it here with the lid just like slightly unscrewed so that any air that gets released through the fermentation process is able to be released. You can also use a cloth over this or cheesecloth, which makes it look really fancy, but honestly I found just putting lids just a little bit unscrewed over the top works really well. Now you're going to leave it here for 24 hours, but if your house is hotter, or if you're leaving this ferment closer towards a stove or a dishwasher that maybe gets kind of hot, this process may go quicker than 24 hours. But if it's further away and if it's a little colder in your house, the process actually might take even longer. I've actually had it take up to 3 days for me to kind of get it to the thickness and the consistency I'm looking for. So really you just want to check the thickness by kind of shaking it a little bit. Once it starts to kind of get thick, you'll just put it in the refrigerator, screw the lid back on, and be good to go. And you can spoon that out, use it as dip for any of your fruit. You can add it to smoothies. Remember to kind of build your tolerance slowly. You can add this wherever there is some kind of sweet food, help with that blood sugar stabilization, and also help with energy throughout the day. So it's pretty much that simple, but my favorite way to enjoy cultured cream is to juice carrots and combine carrot juice, 1 raw pastured egg, and a big dollop of this cultured cream. Blend it all together, and I'm telling you guys, it tastes so creamy and so sweet and really very delicious, and it's super healthy for you. It's also can be very detoxing, so be aware of that. This kind of thing, especially raw eggs, can actually pull heavy metals, so you want to be aware of all of that. But that's actually one of the most natural ways to detox from heavy metals because it's food-based. You're using the egg yolk and the egg white, and the egg white is what can actually pull metals from your body. Getting it in the form of juice allows it to be absorbed easily, and combining it with the fat helps those nutrients from the carrot juice and the egg to be absorbed into your body, especially your fat tissues. I will link that recipe below, but honestly, it's super good. It is neutrally good, not just GAPS people think it's good. All my friends that I've shared it with think that it's super yummy. It tastes like a dessert. I hope that was helpful. As always, please like and subscribe this video for more nutritional and emotional healing content like this. It is my passion to walk alongside people as they heal and grow. It inspires me and hopefully brings encouragement to you. Thanks for watching.